What's going on, people of Earth? We're going to do a recipe today of some oven fried pork skin battered chicken. It's going to be a kind of a long process. So this is not one, this is probably one you could do in the mat just in an afternoon or something. But we want the chicken to kind of marinate in the spices first. So we're going to make a spice rub first, let it marinate overnight, and then we're going to take the pork rinds. And you can use, I'm going to make my own pork rinds. I buy those little pork pellets, and I'll show you how I do it. So just kind of follow us along. Alrighty, of course we're going to start off with some, these are just chicken leg quarters right here. We're going to start off with a pack of those, and that's about 5 of them in there. Our spices are going to include crushed red pepper, some cayenne pepper. We're going to have some mustard powder, some white pepper, some paprika, some garlic powder, some poultry seasonings, and some Himalayan salt here. Now we're going to mix all this stuff together, and I'll give you the proportions here shortly. All right, guys, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on this right here, but basically what we're going to do is we're going to take some of the pork rinds here, and I'm using these right here. These are Carolina Gold nuggets, and they're just microwave pork rind pellets, but I cook mine in oil. And this right here is just some oil, some Wesson oil right here that we're using, vegetable oil, and we just going to take, again, I've got my oil heated up pretty high, about medium high, and we're going to take some of the gold pellets, put it in the hot seasoning, and just stir them around. They're real easy. Now you can do them in the microwave, but to me, they taste better when you do them this way right here. And we're not going to show you the whole batch of this whole process right here, guys. I just want to let you know how I'm doing it, and how if you just want to get you a bag of regular puffed skins, you can get you a bag of puffed skins and do the same thing, but I'm doing mine this way. All right, and it doesn't take long. It doesn't take long to do these. You know, when you got hot oil, you just go ahead and empty them out here until you get ready to do your next batch. They cook really super fast. You just got to make sure you keep them all submerged pretty much. And then we'll do our next batch here, and we'll come back once they're done. Alrighty, guys, and that didn't take very long. That took probably less than 5 minutes for me to fry up all those pork skins right there. And we're gonna, you hear them popping. We're gonna let that sit for a little while, then we're gonna season them. But let's get to our chicken. Alrighty, one thing I left out a little while ago, I know we've got enough seasoning in there, but I did leave out a little bit of the hot sauce. And this, you can use, you don't have to use this kind right here. You can use whatever you want to use. You can use Texas Pea, whatever. But we're going to start off with some hot sauce just to kind of give it a coating. And you could be really, you can put a lot up there if you want to, guys. You can put a little up there. That was probably about 2 tablespoons of hot sauce. Probably 2 or 3 tablespoons of hot sauce. Now, we're going to take some paprika, and we're going to use about a big old heaping tablespoon of paprika. I'll wipe that off a little bit. I'm going to take a big old heaping tablespoon of garlic powder, not garlic salt. Take some white pepper. Now, white pepper, it is already hot enough, so I'm not going to put a heaping tablespoon of this. I'm just going to probably put half of a tablespoon of that. But it really is not going to matter, because once these seasonings kick in, it's just going to give it a really nice flavor. This mustard powder, we're going to use a big old heaping tablespoon of the mustard powder. Again, the cayenne pepper. I don't know how spicy you want it to be, but you don't have to make it super spicy. But we're going to use about half of a tablespoon of our cayenne pepper. And then we're going to use some red pepper flakes here, and And we're just gonna kind of douse it here with some red pepper flakes. That's a lot. We're gonna get back to our poultry seasoning here. Poultry seasoning, guys, has onion mixed in the thyme, dried sage, marjoram, garlic, rosemary. So a bunch of different seasoning, and there's not a lot left in here, so there's about a tablespoon left in there. And then we got to salt this stuff down, and we want to use about not quite a tablespoon, but salt it down. And then we're just going to mix everything up here. And I'm just throwing some gloves on, but you don't have to. Just mix everything, make sure everything is thoroughly coated here. And this is going to be a dry rub is what this is going to be, y'all. Dry rub. Now, one thing that you could add to it is if you wanted to add a little bit of baking powder, that would actually, or cornstarch, not baking powder. You could add a little bit of corn starch, and it would make it stick to the, make it stick to the chicken a little bit better. But we're just going to coat all of it here, and we're going to let this marinate in this just overnight, and we're going to actually cook it tomorrow. We're going to use an egg wash, and then we're going to use those skins that we made, and it's got a nice little flavor throughout it. So by the time this stuff sinks into this meat, y'all, ooh, you're talking about some good eating. This is going to be good and spicy, and it's going to be oven fried. So it's going to be a little bit healthier because it's cooked in the oven. It's going to be gluten free because it doesn't have any breading on it. Well, not classic breading. All right, that's good enough right there. We're going to get us a lid put on it, and we'll come back to this. To you, it'll just be a couple of seconds. To me, it'll be tomorrow. Take off these gloves first. All righty, cover it up, and please put this in the refrigerator. Don't sit this out on the counter for 18 hours. That will be some not edible chicken. All right, now the next thing we do, at least with the pork skins, is we're going to take our paper towels out here. And I'm probably going to spill some of these, because I always do. Take out. And you know what? The ones I'm going to spill, I'm going to eat. Like this one here. They're nice and crunchy. But you can leave them just like this, but we're going to spice these things up. And we're going to use a little cayenne pepper, just to kind of give them a little bit of a kick. And we're going to also use some Creole Magic. You've seen me use this before. Tony Chachere's usually goes real good on this. I'll usually put some garlic powder on it, guys. Here comes the sneeze. Woo! That sneeze, boy. That's no play. Put some garlic powder on it. And I'm just searching through my cabinet to see what else I can put up there. All right. Once you get all your spices up there, you kind of want to toss them around a little bit, because you're going to have to re-season these, you know. And I usually don't fill this up this much, but I did this time. And then you got to re-season it. Just put some more spices on it. More cayenne pepper. Because you also want these things to taste good, you know, besides using them as breading for your chicken. You don't have these as snacks during the week. All righty, once I get them seasoned the way I want to get them seasoned, I'll take some Ziploc bags, some gallon Ziploc bags, and I'll just start stuffing them in here. Okay, and there you have it. We got about 3.5, and that's almost 3.25 bags of skins, pork skins. And again, we'll probably use this one right here to use as our breading. We're going to crush this up, put it in the food processor, crush it up, make it into a breading, or however many we need. It just depends on how many we need. So just continue watching, and you're going to see the rest of this video here shortly. Alrighty, y'all. Before I get started, I wanted to show you this skillet here. This is a 15-inch cast iron frying pan, and we're going to use that to cook all of our chicken in, and all of it should fit in this pot. Now, you don't have to use yours to do it this way, but I want to fix my chicken all in one swift swoop, and I also don't want to flip my chicken, so we're going to add oil to this right here. So go ahead and preheat your oven to 425 degrees. Place this pan in there. Let it get super warm, which is going to take about, 15 to 20 minutes. By that time, you'll have your dredge ready and your skins all crunched up and everything, and be time to cook it. All right, we're going to start to make our wet batter. With our wet batter, we're going to have 2 jumbo eggs. We're going to have some egg substitute. That's just so that you don't have to use a whole lot of the eggs. Use a little bit of cornstarch. We're going to use some buttermilk, and we're going to use some hot sauce as well too. You can throw some seasonings in there if you want to. We may throw some garlic in there, a little bit of cayenne pepper, but remember, it's got a dry rub on it anyway. Alrighty, we got the 2 eggs cracked already. We're going to put about half a cup of the egg substitute here. Going to add some of the buttermilk as well too. Make sure it's shook up real well. And that's about a cup of buttermilk. We're going to add some hot sauce to this. And we're going to add about a teaspoonful, which is about 1/3 of a tablespoon of cornstarch. While you put the cornstarch in there, that'll help the dredge or the liquid stick to the chicken a little bit better. I'm going to see how that works. Then we're going to stir that up here. Now, it works real well if you're going to do it on dry chicken. But we're going to stir all this in here. Now, that buttermilk makes it really, really thick, y'all. So these pork rinds will stick to this real well. It makes it really, really thick. So you're only going to have to put a light coating on the chicken. Alrighty, I didn't feel like getting the big food processor out, so I'm just going to use the hand mixer here to crush up these skins. It takes a little bit longer, but cleanup's a little bit less too. So we're just going to throw the skins in there, and you'll see what we get once we're done with it. Just going to take those skins, put that in there, and it's not going to take long, y'all. Not going to take long at all. See that? That's what you get. And we're going to do that a couple of times until we've got, maybe a half a bowl of this stuff full. Alrighty, guys. That's what we ended up with right there. That's about one of those gallon bags of skins right there. So hopefully that'll be enough, and it should be. It's going to work out perfectly. Again, the skins are already seasoned, so we're gonna get the chicken out and get this thing cooking. All right, here's our chicken from last night, and it has sat in that dredge all night long. You can smell it, or I can smell it. This is going to be good. We're going to go ahead and put the individual pieces in here, and we're going to go in here first, and then we're going to go in here, and then we're going to go over there on the pan. If you can see the pan, we're going to have to make this smaller so you guys can see. There you go. All right, we're gonna start with a big old thigh first, and we're gonna drop it in our wet dredge. And you can do this with your hands, guys. And again, just let that kind of drip off because this stuff is going to stick to it really, really well. And we're going to add it to here. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay. And once you get it there, we can actually go ahead and take it out by hand here. Put it on the pan. And then we're going to do the rest of them like that, guys. All righty, y'all. Look at that chicken all covered up. If it looks this good going in, you know what it's going to look like coming out. All righty, y'all. I've just taken this pan out of the oven. It is steaming hot. And we're going to add some oil to it. This is coconut oil here. We're just going to let that melt down. And we want this to spread all over the bottom here. So we're going to put about 3 heaping tablespoons in here. Again, this is going to be a no-flip chicken. So we're going to let that spread here. Be careful. Sometimes you might have the tendency to want to grab this handle, but it is super, super hot, y'all. Let that spread. Put it back in the oven for about 5 minutes. Let that warm up, and then we're going to put the chicken in there. All right, guys, we're going to start loading this pan up, and hopefully we've got enough room here. So again, you got that oil in there already. I'll put the big pieces in there first. Oh, it just looks so good looking. Ooh, we may not have enough to do it. And try not to crowd it, guys, if you can, but I want to get all these pieces of chicken in here. Okay. Trying my best. Now, the one thing that I always forget to do, and you don't want to forget this on this part right here, you want to spray this. Make sure you spray it on the outside. We're going to stick this in the oven for about 20 minutes at 425 degrees, and then we're going to turn the heat down. Alrighty, y'all. We did 20 minutes at 425 and 20 minutes at about 400. And really, you could have done about 15 minutes, but it's all done. We're going to put this on the cooling rack. We're going to see how this stuff tastes. All right, I know I'm not going to get it in the same order that I took it off, but I'm just going to take this here, put that piece there. Oh, yeah. That looks so good, y'all. So good. And again, it's not breaded. It's not breaded at all. And let's see what the bottom looks like. Oh yeah, see how the bottom looks? That's why I put that oil up there. We're gonna let this cool down for about 10 minutes or so. If I can wait 10 minutes. Oh God, it's spicy too, y'all. I can taste the spices in that piece. I just tasted on my finger. Oh, this is gonna be so friggin' good. So friggin' good. Okay. Get all the crunchies too. Put some of those crunchies in there. All right, guys, let's let it cool and let's eat. Alrighty, guys, we got our fried chicken here. I'm having a late dinner tonight, and what we're gonna do is I'm gonna cut it just so that so that everybody can see what it looks like on the inside, and you know that it's done all the way through. Oops. Okay. See, you can't see it, can you? Let me get the angle right. See that? That's cooked all the way through. And I'm doing this on top of my laptop, so you may actually hear a movie come on. Oh, sorry about that. Doggone it. Turn off. I was watching Game of Thrones, so hold on a second. Now, the true test is the taste. I'm going to taste this. Oh man, that stuff is spicy. I probably overdid it with the spice, y'all. Probably overdid it. The crust is good. Now, the crust doesn't have as much of a crunch that I like, but it's good. It's not soggy, but the actual flavor of the chicken is just delicious. So you got to try it. You could probably cook it a little bit longer and get that crust to where it's supposed to be. Again, it's crunchy. I can hear myself crunching it as I'm chewing it. But the flavor of the meat, that's the key right there. Flavor of the meat is really good. And I can taste every one of those spices in there. It's a really kick butt spicy chicken. So you guys got to try it. As I'm about to get choked because it's almost too spicy. I'm going to eat my dinner. Try it. Pork skin crusted chicken. It's gluten free and it's good for you. Peace.